Hello. Happy Saturday. All right. Good morning. Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, X. Good morning. I'm super excited. Today is the day. A few weeks ago, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago now, I was on my walk and really contemplating a lot of things. And one of the things I always think about is our, students and graduates and people who go through our various courses and the difference between some people who graduate the course and they go out there and just like crush it, and they're doing these 30K months, 100K months, whatever, whatever they're doing, and just really killing it and helping lots and lots and lots of people. And then the other students, the other graduates, the ones who they graduate, they get their certificate, and then 6 months later, 8 months later, a year later, sometimes it's like, hey, how's it going with your practice? Well, I haven't really seen any clients yet, or, this, hey, Mike, what's up? And, I really started thinking a lot about the difference and about the things that I hear from our graduates. And, one of the biggest things that I hear all the time is people say, I'm really private. I don't like to put myself out there on the internet. I don't like to, share what I'm having for lunch, or show my intimate details, or tell people what I'm going through. And a lot of that, when I really question people and kind of ask them what's holding them back, a lot of it really comes down to introverts, right? Now, there's a huge misconception about what an introvert is. A lot of people really, really, really misunderstand and almost abuse the labels of introvert, extrovert. And by the way, it is extrovert, not extrovert, as a lot of people, even dictionary.com has that wrong. That's straight from the source, Carl Jung, who actually created the word. It's Latin, extrovert. But there's a lot of misconceptions about what an introvert is, what an extrovert is. A lot of people think introverts are shy. A lot of introverts are very private. They don't want to share their public details of, I just had a fight with somebody, or, I got diarrhea today, or whatever. I mean, it seems like sometimes people are willing to put everything that they do on Facebook. I know some people do 20, 30 posts a day. And there are a lot of people who are like, well, I'm just not like that. I don't like going to networking events. I don't like putting myself out there that way. And so this really got me thinking about, most people, I think, looking at me would assume that I'm an extrovert because I speak on stages, right? That's one of the biggest reasons people go, you're not an introvert. You speak on stages. You speak in front of all kinds of people. Again, that's a complete misunderstanding of what an introvert is. I'm a high introvert. I'm about as high as you can score on the introvert scale. Yes, I did used to be shy, although introversion doesn't necessarily mean shyness. I was shy for different reasons, not because I'm an introvert, but because I went through a lot of trauma when I was a kid. And I had to overcome all that. And NLP time techniques in particular is what helped me overcome that. But it really got me thinking of this whole notion that introverts are broken or disabled, or at least at a disadvantage, right? Hey, Lena, how's it going? And I look back on my career now, 23 years in this field professionally, and the things that I did in the beginning to force myself, as a shy person, to force myself to get out there and put the word out there. But really what I did is I developed a lot of strategies and a lot of things that helped me as an introvert succeed in the field. And this is the thing, is I've seen some people in coaching groups on Facebook and things like that say that, introverts just can't succeed as a coach or a hypnotherapist or an NLP practitioner or an energy worker. And that's a complete BS. BS stands for belief system, by the way. That's their belief system, right? And usually it's extroverts who are projecting, and nothing against extroverts, but it's extroverts who are projecting on us, introverts, that there's something wrong with us, that we just need to fix ourselves, or it's so easy, just put yourself out there, And it really got me realizing the struggle that a lot of introverts have. So about 3-4 weeks ago, I put out a post on the webs, and I said, hey, if I were to do a course on how to succeed as an introvert coach, hypnotherapist, and NLP practitioner, who would be interested? And man, I swear, this is probably the most engaged post that I've had in a long time. I just got tons and tons and tons and tons of replies. So I decided to put it together, and it's this weekend. today, Saturday, tomorrow, and Monday. Today is at 1 p.m. Pacific time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern time, or you can do the math if you're in between. And it's going to be about 3 hours. It's going to be packed full of content. As you know, I always deliver tons of content and tons of value on these trainings. And I'm going to share some real strategies of how to succeed as an introvert. One of the things I'm going to do too is clear up the misconceptions, because sometimes the misconceptions hold us back because they become BS. They become belief systems, right? So real quick, if you're interested in joining us, it's free, and you can join us at this URL right here, www.theintrovertedge.com. Head on over there. You can register for today at 1 p.m. or tomorrow at 10 a.m., I believe it is. Might be 9 a.m. Let me go look at the link myself, because I have to remember what time it is as well. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, which would be noon Eastern time, and then Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific are the 3 times that I'm doing it. It is live only. Man, it just blows my mind since COVID. Every time I do something, people go, "Can you record it for me? Can you stream it?" Well, we're streaming this, but even our live events, we get so many people who are like, "Yeah, I don't like to get up off the couch anymore, so can you just stream it for me?" And here's the funny thing, like when we do stream it, all the people who said they would show up for the stream but not live, they don't even show up for the stream. I don't get it. But yeah, so this is live only. We're not doing replays. I don't really believe in doing replays of these kinds of trainings because I know that the people, and I've studied this, we actually have the stats on it. The people who say, "Oh, I'll catch the replay," it's about 11% of people who actually go watch the replay. And then those people, they're not very engaged when they do, is my belief. So I don't do replays on it. I like to do these live. I'm actually having a lot of fun. A couple of weeks ago, I did a training called the NLP Success Formula, and did that 3 times. And that was just a blast. Had a lot of fun. People rated it. One person rated it 6 out of 5 stars, which I thought was pretty cool. So here's what I'm going to share today at 1 p.m. or tomorrow at 9 a.m. or Monday at 1 p.m. If you want to join, you can go to theintrovertedge.com. That's introvert is singular in that domain name. A Facebook user, it doesn't have their name, but they say registered and looking forward to it. Thank you. Awesome. I am too. I'm super excited for this because it really hits home for me. Again, I'm a high introvert, and this is all stuff that I had to learn and kind of develop myself as well. So here are the things I'm going to share on the training. And if you're interested, head on over to theintrovertedge.com and join us. Number 8 in descending order, I'm going to share why being an introvert is not a disadvantage, as many people think it is. Especially extroverts tend to think that being an introvert is a disadvantage. There are a lot of misconceptions about this, and I'm going to clear them all up. And maybe even clear up, I know some introverts actually carry some shame about being an introvert, right? They see that as a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all, right? It's a natural personality type. 2 poles of a personality type, actually, introvert, extrovert. There is nothing wrong with being an introvert, nothing at all. Number 7, I'm going to talk about how to create an instant bond with people. This is something that often introverts are challenged with. I know I used to be, right? How do I, like, if I'm at a party, if I'm at a networking event, if I'm at a function or a convention or a seminar, how do I actually connect with people there, right? As opposed to what most introverts do, which is they just sort of hide off in the corner, or they skirt around the edge, trying to act like they're working the crowd, but they're not actually getting into the crowd. I'm going to talk about that. Number 6, this is one of my favorite tips that I ever learned. I learned this about 21, 22 years ago, and it just absolutely changed my social life as well as my professional life, which is how to always know what to say so you never have another moment of awkward silence. This one for me, like, I would pay hundreds of dollars to learn this if I didn't know it, because for me, the awkward silence was the most dreaded thing in the world as an introvert, right? And the funny thing is, when there was an awkward moment of silence, I would always get in my head and feel like I was being the awkward one, or the other person was probably in their head thinking they were being the awkward one too, right? There was no awkwardness about it. But I'm going to show you how to always, no matter what situation you're in, always know exactly what to say in order to keep a conversation going. Number 5, I'm going to show you how being an introvert actually benefits you and your clients. If you're, and sorry, extroverts, you have your own strengths too, but we're not going to cover those on this training. Most people don't realize this, but introverts actually make excellent coaches. There are reasons for that. There are some massive benefits to being an introvert. Again, there are benefits to being an extrovert as well. I'm not saying that because an introvert is, it's not better or worse. But a lot of people think extroverts are better and the introverts are worse, again, because of the misconceptions. I'm going to show you how you being an introvert, if you're an introvert, is a benefit to you and actually a benefit to your clients as well. It's actually kind of a superpower. Number 4, I'm going to show you how to preserve your energy as a healer, which that's what we all are, right? If you're a coach, a hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, energy worker, health practitioner, minister, whatever it is that you do, you're a healer, right? You're helping people get through their stuff and heal their lives. And one of the most important things, especially for us healers to do, is to protect your energy and preserve your energy. It's not just about protecting, it's also about preserving. So I'm going to show you how you can, an actual step-by-step process that you can use to preserve your energy, because this is what happens as introverts. When we get drained, we don't tend to want to go out and talk to people. We don't want to do sales calls. We don't want to go out to networking events. If you can preserve your energy, it actually mitigates a lot of those feelings, right? There are times that I love going to like seminars, and sometimes I love going to networking events, but it's when my energy's high, right? And so what we have to do is get to cause for our energy and preserve our energy. Number 3, I'm going to talk about how you can promote yourself without being fake or phony while protecting your privacy. And I know that for introverts, this is one of the biggest things, right? I'm a private person. I don't want to put on there that, I had, whatever happened to me this week, right? And there are a lot of people out there who are extroverts and their whole marketing strategy is publicly posting their life. And it gives us introverts sometimes the false impression that that's what we have to do in order to market. Again, I'm a high introvert. I'm not going around posting what I had for lunch or anything else like that. And we have a coaching program that brings in, high 7 figures, almost said 9 figures. That'd be great. High 7 figures, and coaching isn't even our primary thing, right? We're primarily a training company. Number 2, I'm going to talk about how introverts actually tend to be better salespeople than extroverts when done correctly, and more. See, most people think that extroverts are natural salespeople, and there's some truth to that, right? There are certain things, like most extroverts tend to be gregarious. They tend to be outgoing. They tend to be better at conversation because they put themselves in more conversation. So they tend to be more practiced. But none of that stuff is really the important stuff in sales. And so this is one of the things that I'm going to talk about, is how introverts, I think, actually tend to be better salespeople than extroverts, but not when you're pretending to be an extrovert, right? You actually have to embrace your introversion and really be comfortable with who you are. And then number 1, I went in descending order because number 1 is the most important to some people. Number 1, I'm going to share with you on the training. You'll have to come on the training to find out what number 1 is. So Raluca says, watching on LinkedIn Live. Awesome. Thank you, Raluca. That's the first person I've heard watching on LinkedIn. Usually everything I post on LinkedIn, it's like it goes into a black hole and nobody can see it. It's the one social media platform I just can't seem to figure out. Thank you. Awesome. So if you want to join us, it's theintrovertedge.com. I'm really looking forward to it. As you can tell, I'm pumped because, again, this one is really close to home for me. I feel like I've really overcome a lot of the issues that I had being an introvert, especially the feelings of being broken or being less than or not as good as or any of that stuff. Facebook user, it doesn't have your name on there, but it says, good morning. I am so looking forward to this Zoom meeting. I love the agenda. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited for it. There's a ton of information in here. It's going to be great, great, great. Bring your notebook. There's a lot of notes to take, and I'm going to love it, and you're going to love it. Hey, Susie, how you doing? Good to see you. Hopefully you're joining us today. Again, today is 1 p.m. Pacific. I'm expecting it'll probably go about 3 hours based on the amount of content that I have. So probably from 1 to 4. And tomorrow we're doing a morning session, which will be at 9 a.m. Pacific, which is noon Eastern time. And then Monday we're doing 1 p.m. Pacific again. So three times for you to choose from. Again, this is live only. There won't be a replay. I don't really believe in doing replays because most people don't watch them anyway, and the people who do watch them aren't that engaged. I've actually scientifically studied all this, or maybe I should say technically studied all this. We for years we used to do replays, and then we would watch it. It's about 11% of people actually go and click the button to watch the replay. And then if you watch the engagement graph on videos, like people just drop off like crazy. It's so different than a live training where you get to interact and ask questions. And of course you will be able to ask any questions that you want during the training as well. Lena says, thank you, Michael. This really hits home for me. I hope it's really going to be valuable for you and help you. You know, my goal, as everybody knows, right? Our mission at Transform Destiny is to transform the world one person at a time. The way that we do that is it's for me, my mission started with me. I was my very first client. I worked on myself. I fixed all the things in myself that I didn't like about myself. I worked on my weaknesses and turned them into strengths. And then, you know, then it was me going out and working with clients, helping people and change their lives. And then it became me becoming a trainer, helping you, training you so that you can go out. Well, number one, you can be your own first client, and then you can go out and help other people and change their lives. And, you know, that's a ripple effect that spreads around the world. And that's our mission. So, you know, for me, like, you know, there's always this debate. I actually just saw this in a Facebook group this morning. There's always this debate on trainings and seminars, personal development seminars, things like that, which is, you know, if somebody goes to a training, they go home and do nothing with it. Whose fault is that? Is it the trainer's fault, or is it the student's fault, the graduate's fault? Right. And, you know, unfortunately, most people in the speaker and training fields, they go, well, that's not my fault. I taught them. And if they go home and do nothing with it, that's their fault. And yeah, it probably is their fault. But I also like to be at cause for I like to be at cause for doing everything that I can do to help people actually implement and take action once they graduate. I know that I can't be to blame if somebody goes home and does nothing with it, but I can certainly be at cause for what I do and how I support people once they graduate. And this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this, is because, you know, for me, it's not just enough that somebody paid me $3,500 and they get to take my training. Now I've got money. Money's number 6 on my values list. It's not even that high. But for me, it's like the actual transformation. You know, I want to see people go out and do something with it. That's what brings me the most fulfillment. Fulfillment's worth far more than money to me, is when people actually do something with it. And so if you're a practitioner, if you're a coach, if you're a hypnotherapist, an energy worker, any kind of a practice owner, anybody who helps people, and you're an introvert and you've been struggling with how to get yourself out there, then come and join me. Right? It's going to be really powerful. You don't have to be one of those people that your life is on public display like you're a celebrity in order to be successful. Again, I'm a high introvert. I don't put my life out there on display, although I do like to share some things that I've been through at times that are inspiring to other people. But I don't put my life out there on display. You know, I don't consider myself a celebrity. It's actually kind of weird for me when people treat me like one, just because a lot of people know me. But you know, for me, it's definitely one of those things of like, we need to get out there and change the world, right? The world needs us more than ever right now, especially the last 3 years, man. There's just so many people in pain right now. There's so many people struggling and suffering, and they need us. They need us to be helping them. And so that's what this training is all about. So hope you come and join us. Again, it's theintrovertedge.com, theintrovertedge.com. Again, here's what I'm going to be sharing. I'm going to share about why being an introvert is not a disadvantage, as many people think it is. How to create an instant bond with people, something that a lot of introverts struggle with. How to always know what to say so that you never have another moment of awkward silence. Awkward silence used to be one of the most dreaded things in my life as an introvert. I hated going to parties and networking events because of the awkward silence. Number 5, how being an introvert actually benefits you and your clients. There are a lot of benefits. I think that in many ways, introverts are better at coaching. And again, better in many ways. I'm not saying better than extroverts. Extroverts are better in their ways, and introverts are better in their own ways. But a lot of introverts think that they're not as good as extroverts. And so we're gonna get rid of that myth. Number 4, I'm going to show you a step-by-step process to preserve your energy as a healer. In the healing arts, coaching, hypnotherapy, NLP, you know, there can be a significant drain of energy that happens when working with clients and when marketing yourself and networking. And so you have to learn how to preserve your energy. I'm going to give you a step-by-step process for that. I'm going to show you how to promote yourself without being fake or phony, while protecting your privacy, not having to put your life on public display. Number 2, I'm going to show you how introverts tend to be better salespeople than extroverts when done correctly, when not pretending to be an extrovert. You probably have a lot of strengths as a salesperson, as an introvert, that you don't realize. And they can be a huge benefit. You just have to own your introversion and utilize it. And then number 1, most important for a lot of people, you'll have to come on the training to find out what number 1 is. All right. Well, for some reason it didn't broadcast in our members only group, so I'm going to have to end this and go do it all over again in there. So Hakalau, hope you come and join us. It's going to be a lot of fun, lots of great stuff. Bring a notepad. There's going to be lots and lots of content. And I will see you at 1 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Hakalau. Bye.